Now, if you thought selling cars online was something new, think again. These guys, Vanarama, have been selling them since 2007. They specialise in vans, but they also sell just as many cars online. My name's James Baggett. I'm the founder of Car Dealer Magazine, and today I'm here to find out how they do it.
Andy Alderson started Vanarama back in 2004, switching to a leasing broker fully in 2007. A true entrepreneur, he started the business after buying a bulk load of cars. When he worked in a Citroën dealer, he pounced early on a special campaign offer for C5s, which he realised, when totted up, meant dealers could sell them at half price, with full margin. He secured all of them, set up a one-page website and a free phone number, and sold them in 6 weeks across the country. He realised people were buying them without even taking a test drive, and it gave him the idea for his business. Now, 90% of buyers on his website never drive the cars or vans they're buying. He took us on a tour of his office in Hemel Hempstead.
Fine, so we're an online vehicle leasing business. We've been online since 2008, but now we're kind of more omnichannel e-commerce. This year we were on target to sell about 17,000 vehicles. Customers are van customers. A lot of people will know us as Vanarama, and think most of our customers are van, but we now do nearly as many cars as we do van.
You obviously do this in a very different way, vans and cars, and there's a lot of people entering this space of wanting to sell in a similar fashion as you are now.
Yeah.
Well, what can they learn from what you've learned over all these years of experience?
That's a good question. Well, the biggest thing we've learned is, first of all, the importance of investing in brand. Because we're one of about 600 leasing companies, and most of them are online. There's tens of thousands of vehicles being sold online every month.
Yeah.
So brand's important. If people have heard of you, you've got a head start. We're selling vehicles now 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're selling vehicles in things like Facebook Messenger. We've got a chat bot that sold vehicles, 1,100 vehicles last year, all while we were sleeping.
So a fully autonomous salesman?
Yeah. Doesn't moan, we didn't have to furlough him. Yeah, so.
And investing is something Andy is used to. He spent millions on building the Vanarama brand name, and he doesn't think it needs changing now he's selling just as many cars. You might know the firm for its sponsorship of the Football League. That cost £2.1 million at a time the business had a net worth of just £700,000. Andy says it was an all-on red moment, but it paid off. Now his team are selling thousands of cars and vans every month.
So we will come in, before we went fully e-commerce, we would come in on a Monday morning to about 1,500 inquiries from the website. And we'd spend a couple of days catching up with that, as well as dealing with the fresh inquiries coming in. Now we're coming into about 250 orders on a Monday morning from Friday night.
Vanarama has 45,000 customers in contract, and around 13,000 of those a year come up for renewal. It's something Andy's team works very hard on. In 2019, the business turned over 85 million. It was up from 71 million in 2018, and if COVID hadn't happened, 2020 would have been better than last year. But coronavirus has actually helped in other ways.
And have you seen a rise in sales off the back of COVID via your online platforms?
Yeah. So we've been using online selling for some time. We've had e-commerce in Omnichannel for some time as well. And the trend to moving online was happening. So I don't know if you saw an Auto Trader car buying report from 2018, and they said then 85% of people were fatigued with the car buying process. And we know that customers don't like the 48-hour grind of driving around dealerships, collecting different prices. They like it less and less. And then there's the 4-hour grind of negotiating a price. And that was all true before COVID. You've then got the move towards electric. And and all right, the infrastructure may not be there for everyone to adopt it yet, but it will be. People talk about leasing as a way to keep pace with that change. And then when it comes to online, because of COVID as well, people are now saying, okay, I'd like to buy online, who does it?
So there will be a lot of people out there in the industry looking at your business and admiring what you've done. and most of them will be launching or thinking about launching similar propositions.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dealers that are looking to sell their products online. You've got the likes of Kazoo,
Yeah.
you've got the likes of Cinch today launching,
Yeah.
You've got Karzam coming soon. Do you think the industry is ready for that change? Do you think the dealers are ready for that change? And do you think the consumers it's the way that consumers want to buy?
Well, if you start with consumers are ready for the change. I think you can see from the money that's being poured into people like Kazoo and Cinch, a lot of people in the sector are saying it's never going to work. It is going to work. Kazoo have now got the money to make it happen. The consumer appetite's there, but when it comes to dealers, it's a bit of a mixed bag. And I think the dealers who are saying it isn't ready or the market isn't ready, it's difficult. I mean, a lot of them are CEOs of listed businesses.
So, okay, let's take that as a point. What would you say to those, to dealers like that
Yeah.
who have invested huge sums of money into property,
Yeah.
and they're true believers that it's a blended approach to selling
Yeah.
is the way forward, that customers want to do a lot of their research online.
Yeah.
They may want to order online, but they want to pick it up and speak to a dealer at a physical location. What would you say to those sorts of people?
It's short-sighted.
And unlike others in the car industry who think it will never happen, Andy is convinced that it won't be long before online sales overtake physical dealer ones.
If you're a CEO of a listed business, what do you tell your shareholders? And unfortunately, the average tenure for a listed business CEO is less than 5 years. The investment needed to be able to do it is tens of millions.
So how does Vanarama work? We asked the company's COO, Joe Elms, to show us around the website.
So if I say, for example, look at this particular Vauxhall Astra, it tells me the headlines of what the spec is, a couple of the sort of the key points in terms of the things that customers are likely to look for. So this particular one has got air conditioning, it has got satellite navigation. So they're the big compelling reasons for a customer to take that vehicle. But this is what we call our little lease scanner. So I can play around with this. So I say, okay, I do about 12,000 miles a year. And you can see the little lease scanner is clicking through all the different funders to basically demonstrate that we are searching the entire database to basically look at the best price for that particular customer. And then similarly, I can play around with it in terms of the number of months I want to lease for, or indeed if I wanted to look at a slightly different initial payment. So the return on that gives me the best price that's available, and it also gives me the next best price. So I'm really clear in terms of what the options are.
It's a clever website that's user-friendly and easy to use. Clearly customers love it too, but why does Joe think it works so well?
I think we'll just see this increase and increase and increase. They're very, very comfortable about buying online. So I don't see why they wouldn't be buying a vehicle online. And particularly when you think about the very high proportion of our customers that have never had a test drive, which realistically is the only reason why you'd ever walk into a dealership, it kind of doesn't make any sense for them to go anywhere else.
So what does the future hold for Alderson and the Vanarama team?
Really exciting. I think we'll look back at this last 6 months as the best thing that ever happened to us. We'll do 50,000 vehicles in 23. We'll probably look at broadening our horizons a bit. We've got manufacturers who are asking us to white label for them. So manufacturers can see what we can see, which is there's a need to be online. Unfortunately, if you just have a website, all you'll end up doing is drive people to the website to drive them back into the showroom, and it becomes just a marketing channel. So we'll do more omnichannel. We'll probably have deeper relationships with manufacturers, and yeah, we'll probably look at Europe at some point as well.
And what about Alderson's parting advice for the rest of the industry dipping their toes into the online car buying world?
The clues are in the past. You know, if you look at what happened with Amazon and bookstores, the Barnes and Noble of this world never thought it was going to. They spend so much time trying to stop it happening, rather than thinking, okay, should we be investing in this? And unfortunately, you see a lot of that with legacy businesses. They're kind of fearful of it, and they spend so much time focusing on why it shouldn't work, rather than why people are investing in it.
I don't know about you, but I found it absolutely fascinating to see how a business can make such a success of selling cars and vans online. And with the industry heading in that way, with the likes of Kazoo, Karzam and Cinch about to do the same thing, it's certainly going to be fascinating seeing how this pans out in the future. To keep an eye on that, Log on to cardealermagazine.co.uk and click on the used car tab at the top of the page. I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Goodbye.